Huh. Yeah, I think I was talking about this on Discord last night. Join our Discord if you want to meet some like-minded people. A lot of interesting people in our Discord, including Jane Street, Susquehanna traders, hedge fund guys, you name it. Uh, Look, I mean, the biggest trading stories I can tell you over and over again are the same theme for me, which is it took me a really long time to not do this, which is adding to losing trades. And if you're attracted to Wall Street, a lot of times it's because you have been told your whole life, you're very smart, and you got a lot of, intelligence at SATs or, those kinds of things, grades, tests. And then you end up, kind of expecting to be right on everything you do, right? No, I like Sarepta. So you expect to be right on everything you do. And the problem is that in the market, you're going to be wrong. Now there's other people. Now I talk to everybody in Discord. Most you don't have to subscribe. Don't pay me for Discord. Um, so anyway, the point of the story here is you'll often sort of get to this point where you're sort of expected to be right all the time because you're given God-given intelligence, right? And it's a wonderful thing to have, but it doesn't really help you in the stock market. And the sooner you figure that out, the better. And there's just a temptation to sort of add to a losing trade. And it took me forever just to stop adding, let alone cutting. Right? So, like, let's say you think quantum computing is a short. You agree with me, and you short some stock, and it doubles in price. What do? I mean, you can add after maybe it doubles, but the problem is when you go up, when the stock goes up 10 cents and you add to it, it goes up another 20 cents, you add to it. If it goes up 50% and you kept your position small, you can add to it. But if you're adding every dollar to the point where you've 10x your position, that's not trading. That's you being wrong and sort of overvaluing your opinion versus the market. The market could give you a good chance to double down, right? But take it slow. Your thoughts, just because you had them, are not that special. There's this temptation that, okay, I had this thought, therefore, this beautiful thought I had is got to be so right. It's just not really the way markets work. I mean, it's just not going to work that way. It's never worked that way. It's never going to work that way in the future because there's no such thing as ESP. The market's not going to snap out of everything and realize you're a genius in 1 second. It's just kind of not the the way that works. It's going to work itself out over time. So if you take every uptick in the stock personally, that's just such a crazy way to behave because the market doesn't know your thoughts. The market doesn't care about your thoughts, even if it knew it. So it's just sort of one of these things where, you have to leave yourself the room to be wrong, and that room, could be pretty substantial because, again, the market's not listening to you. And I think the biggest mistake we make is we think that the market can hear us or something. That sounds silly, but we think that there's some kind of connection between our thinking and what the market's doing, and there's no connection whatsoever. It's just important to be disconnected a little bit from your emotions that are telling you, you're outraged that stock's up or something like that. Like, you can't be outraged. It's just a stock. Like, people like the stock, they're going to continue to like the stock, and it's not going to change in 5 minutes or because you got angrier or something like that. That's just such a wild kind of way to look at it. I think GameStop is basically I mean, even people who like GameStop know that the cash the company has is the main asset of the company, and you're sort of valuing this idea that management can pull a rabbit out of a hat and find a great business at a good price. That's basically the idea of GameStop. I don't think anybody thinks that the actual GameStop business is worth very much, but if you could find somebody that thinks that, I mean, that's impressive. It's impressive copium. There's just not that many people that think that. He could. I mean, it could be right. I'm just saying what the consensus is. Just because that's the consensus doesn't mean that the consensus is right. I mean, that would be a ridiculous way to look at the world. But it is somewhat telling that even the biggest GameStop cheerleaders don't really think that there's much value to GameStop itself.